everybody, it's Kia. Welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to share with you our September 2020 budget. I'm trying to be a little more prepared and a little more organized and a little more timely with the way we're doing our budgeting. And so since I was going through and starting to fill the whole month out, even though it's not quite the end of the month and I don't have our roll forward information yet, I did want to go ahead and share with you what's going to be happening for the month of September. So if you are new to our channel, thank you guys so much for stopping by. We are actually on a debt-free journey. We are trying to get our massive list of debts paid off. And in the meantime, we are working on trying to make better financial decisions, establish some sinking funds, and really get our emergency fund built up. So far, since we dove in earlier this year, we've really been working on cleaning up low debt with high minimum payments, really so that we can kind of increase our cash flow, and that way we can kind of go through and adjust our budget for our expenses and our spending items so that it can be a little more manageable and a little more obtainable. So that's kind of where we're at. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. If you can leave me a comment down below, I would love to hear from you. But let's go ahead and dive in, and we'll zoom in and go through this budget. Okay, so I have you all zoomed in. If the lighting is terrible, I'm so sorry. Like I said, I'm trying to be a little more timely with stuff, and so tonight was the night that I had time for filming, and I wanted to go ahead and squeeze it in. So I am still working on the lighting situation, but for the month, I think that I'm probably just going to get regular paychecks. So my salary is still going to be the same. My husband's paycheck, I'm still trying to get the hang of things, but I looked at the calendar, and I think that the first pay period is going to be just for a plain 2 weeks, and then the second pay period we should have an extra day on there. So I'm going to do $13.50 for the first paycheck and $1,400 for the next one, and then we'll see kind of how this month goes, and after I can kind of see how the days fall and things like that, then I'll have a better idea of kind of what to expect going forward. So that's what we're going to budget for his paycheck. I am going to budget $70 for miscellaneous. This is because we're planning on transferring some money from our auto sinking fund over to the checking account to cover some oil changes, things like that. We need to get our second vehicle in sometime this month, and so I just wanted to go ahead and put that in there. Other than that, we don't really expect anything else to come through. So that's kind of the income so far. Now over towards the left, let me see if I can kind of move it over so you can see it a little better. We do have a couple goals. So this month, I want to start working on paying off the iPhones. So I want to go ahead and get one of them paid off. And then after we pay that off, we should still have enough money to pay towards the Chase Amazon card, get that one paid off. And then I know for sure we're going to have $150 to put towards our emergency fund, but I'm kind of hoping that maybe I can squeeze another $50 out somewhere and make it an even $200. So that's going to be my goal. Each month I'd like to contribute $200 towards our emergency fund until we get it up to that $1,000 mark. And since we're not really going to have a whole lot of wiggle room in our debt snowball and stuff, I think this will probably be, maybe next month will be the last month that we do a bigger snowball payment. And then after that, it's going to kind of start tapering off. So I want to go ahead and knock out those big iPhones, but that's not going to leave a whole lot of wiggle room to pay off an extra debt after this month. So next month, I want to go ahead and pay off the second iPhone, and between the two of those, that's going to save us almost $100 in minimum payments right there, and that's really going to help our phone bill go down. So looking forward to that. So that is kind of just goals and planning ahead that I'm trying to work on. Now if I bring this section over here, I do have all of our expenses. So I do budget $100 every 2 weeks for fuel, And then I added the $70 in for the oil change that we need. We're going to have our auto insurance, our entertainment subscriptions, which is Spotify and Netflix. We're going to increase our grocery budget up to $700 this month. Hopefully that will give us enough wiggle room. Groceries is an area that we really struggle on, and eventually my goal is to get it up to at least $800. But this month we're going to go ahead and bump it up another $100, and that'll give us a little leeway. Homeschool, I'm going to allocate $60 out for homeschool, mainly because I need to get some supplies like flags and little things like that to kind of help organize the kids a little bit. And then if we don't spend that money, it's going to go into our homeschool fund. So I went ahead and just listed it up here because I do need to buy a few things, but I didn't want to list it in both places. Kids allowance, we're going to do $20. Life insurance, medical. I believe my husband said he only had one therapy visit this month, so I'm only going to budget $65 because I have a hefty amount saved back for medical already, and I think that we have plenty back there to cover all of the past visits that he has had, and then this will cover the future one, and we should be fine there. So hopefully this time, I think he said in September he's actually going to go in for like an in-person meeting, so we'll be able to get all that paid up. Mortgage, that's a regular mortgage payment. Pets, I did not necessarily plan on spending the whole $85 for pets, but we do need our dog food, and then I do need some stuff for the fish tank. I haven't purchased any of their stress coat, and I've actually been having a little bit of an issue with algae and stuff, so I need to check my supplies for the fish tank. And I figured since I don't have to get the cat food this time, now would be a good time to go ahead and add that onto the Chewy order. I shouldn't have to buy cat food for at least 2 months now, maybe a little longer, so we'll have to kind of see how that goes. Shopping, so this is more general spending. So if we need to go out and pick up, Ziploc bags or, miscellaneous things like that. So that is kind of what I call shopping, is just general spending. We do have a few things that I do want to get for around the house. We do need some more Tupperware. I want to get some more of those blender cups for the Ninja, because we do want to do some more smoothies. And so we're going to allocate $260 out towards kind of replenishing some of those things. And then if we have anything extra, then I want to start stocking up on some other items that we need around the house. I want to start kind of building a supply for some of the things that we use pretty regularly, and then that way we have it on hand. Telephone, the last phone bill was pretty low, and I'm not really sure what this month's going to be because I just paid it, so I'm going to go ahead and allocate $370 towards it. Anything else, I'll just kind of go into the emergency fund for this month if it's lower than that. Utilities. Now, I do have an overpayment on our water bill still, so I decided not to send in another payment this month because we're getting into winter. We're not going to be using quite as much water, so I'm going to allocate $350 over towards our internet, our gas, and our electric bill. Student loans, we will only be paying one student loan this month. We have our 2 auto loans, and then we are starting to work on establishing kind of an allowance money. So I'm going to put $80 towards allowance. I'm going to do $50 for my husband and $30 for me. So that takes care of our expenses. Down here at the bottom, I have our bill money. At the end of the month, we'll be saving back $1,050 to go towards next month's bill. And then I'll fill in the roll forward and the auto fund later, because we are working on anything that we don't spend up in our fuel expense line up at the top that I showed you previously. We will be moving over into our auto fund. So we're not going to actually contribute anything, but I wanted it on there because I do plan on transferring money into there at some point. Now over on the next page, we are going to have all of our debts. So like I said previously, there's 2 things that we're planning on working on this month. One of them is the Chase Amazon card, and then we are going to make payment to pay off that iPhone. So that's going to be right around $740, I think. Everything else is just going to be the minimum payments that we generally budget for. I haven't really made any changes to those. So that's going to be total outflow for debt of $2260, and I believe the debt snowball was right around $1,100 this month. So I think that's pretty good because we're still trying to apply those student loan payments towards the debt snowball while we can take advantage of that. And then we also have our emergency fund. We will be contributing $150 for sure to our emergency fund, and I am hoping that I can bump that up to $200 before the end of the year with all the other budget variances that I know we're going to end up having. So that was our September budget. Not too bad. Really trying to think things through here and be intentional with our money, and just kind of start thinking ahead on some of the things that are going to be coming up in the next couple months. I will need to start saving some money back. It is now finally getting close enough to my work deadlines that I'm going to need to start working on my exams again. That way hopefully I can get licensed and get that out of the way, but that'll be for a whole nother video. I have been working on the CPA license for a little while, and I'm hoping to at least get one test out of the way this fall. We'll see. The testing centers just finally opened up in my area, but they keep booking up pretty fast, so I'm just gonna have to see how things go. But that was my budget for September. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you again next time. Thanks, you guys.